Do you ever wish you could Photoshop your Zoom meetings? Well, you actually can. In this video, I'm going to show you how to save your Photoshop adjustments and apply them to your Zoom meetings to make them look more professional. This technique will work with any video conferencing app like Google Hangouts, Microsoft Teams, or Skype. And make sure you watch to the very end because I'm also going to show you how to create graphics in Photoshop and apply them as overlays in your Zoom meetings. The first step is to go into Zoom and take a screenshot of your video. Then take your screenshot into Photoshop. From here, you can use any adjustment layer you like to color correct or color grade your image. Remember, there is no right or wrong. This part of the tutorial is all subjective. Just create something that works for you. You can start by creating a group to stay organized. I'll call my group Adjustments. Then use adjustment layers to color correct your photos. Keep in mind that layer masks will not work for this, but you can use blending modes, opacity, fill, and blend if. First, consider adding brightness and contrast. Odds are is that you'll need a bit of contrast in your screenshot. In my case, I also need to increase the brightness. Now you can work with the color in your image. You can use a hue and saturation adjustment layer for that. And instead of decreasing and increasing the global saturation of colors, you should target specific colors and make adjustments to them. First, analyze your image and determine what colors are predominant in your background. In my case, there's a lot of blue, so I will start there. From this dropdown, I'll select blues and increase the saturation to make the blues pop. Also, remember, with this adjustment layer, you can shift the hues of the color you selected and adjust the lightness. And next, we're going to adjust the skin tones, which is something I'm sure you're going to want to do. The skin tones are usually found in the reds and yellows, no matter your ethnicity. We'll start with the reds. Use the hue slider to try to neutralize your skin tones. In my case, there was a lot of yellow, even a bit of green. You can also use these controls to increase the range of affected pixels. Notice the gradient. It's a visual representation of the colors affected by these three sliders. In my case, the skin tones are a bit saturated, so I will reduce the saturation. Oftentimes, you will need to go into the yellows to continue adjusting the skin tones. Again, the reds and yellows is where you will find skin tones no matter your ethnicity. And this is looking pretty good. If you click on the eye icon for the adjustments group, you can see the unedited version against the edited version. Much, much better. If you feel like your image needs a bit more pop and more saturation, don't use hue and saturation. Instead, use this adjustment layer. From the adjustment layer dropdown, select Vibrance and increase the vibrance. Vibrance increases saturation, but in a smarter way. It protects skin tones and already saturated pixels. And this is what my adjustment looks like so far. I'm pretty happy with what I have. And by the way, if you're learning something new, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And now it's time to export the adjustments. To do so, you need to make sure that you have a background layer. If your bottommost layer does not have the word background in this lock showing, you need to convert it into a background. To do so, go into Layer, New, and choose Layer from Background. And now that you have a background layer, you can export. Go into File, Export, and choose Color Lookup Tables. From here, you can apply a description. I'll call it Zoom Look. Then select the quality. High is a good option, but keep in mind that the higher the quality, the larger the file size. Then make sure that you uncheck all the formats except for Cube. And press OK. And give your color correction a name. I'll call it Zoom Look. And click on Save. This will create a 3D LUT, a lookup table, which essentially is all your adjustments in one file. Now we need to apply this 3D LUT file, this lookup table, to Zoom, but we're gonna need another software, but don't worry, it's free. Let me show you how to get it. First, go into obsproject.com. From here, you can download OBS Studio and install it in your machine. Simply select your operating system and follow the installation instructions. Once you have OBS installed, go into Scene Collection and choose New. Then name your scene. I'll call mine Zoom and press OK. Then under Sources, click on the plus icon and choose Video Capture Device. This is going to connect to your computer's webcam. Then you can name this source. It's not necessary. I'm just going to press OK. And from here, you can select your device under this dropdown. You can see that this video is already being captured by my camera. That's all you need to do. Just select your device and press OK. Now we need to apply the LUT to the video feed. To do so, right-click on the Video Capture Device label and select Filters. From here, click on the plus icon under Effect Filters and select Apply LUT. You can name your LUT if you like, then press OK. And under Path, click on Browse and find the LUT you created in Photoshop. Then you can click on it and click on open. And as you can see, the LUT is now applied to the video. Let me click on this eye icon so you can see what the original feed looks like. And I'll click on it again so that you can see the LUT we created in Photoshop apply to the video. And by the way, if you couldn't see the LUT in the previous screen, let me show you what you can do to make sure it shows up and you can apply it to the video. Go back into Photoshop, open this file. There's a link to it below in the description. It's called neutrallut.png. Then go into the new adjustment layer icon and create a color lookup adjustment layer. Then click on Load 3D LUT. Find the LUT that you created in Photoshop, select it, click on Load, and that would load your custom LUT onto this color lookup adjustment layer. And all you need to do at this point is go into File, Export, Quick Export as a PNG. If you don't have this option, you can do Export As and select PNG. Then you can name your PNG. I'll call it Zoom Look. Make sure that it's in the same folder as your LUT file and click on Save. And now when you go back into OBS Studio, click on Browse and you should be able to see your custom LUT file. Notice that from this window, you can select both PNGs and CUE files. Now you can select the PNG and click Open to apply it into OBS Studio. Now the question is, how do we get this into Zoom? Let me show you how. All you need to do is click on Close, make sure that you're on this screen here, and click on Start Virtual Camera. When you click on that, the feed that is going through OBS is now going to become a virtual camera that you can select in Zoom. Let me show you how to do that. Open Zoom or any other virtual meeting app, then go into the settings, and from here, instead of your webcam, select the OBS virtual camera. And you will be able to see the video with your Photoshop LUT applied to it. Another cool thing you can do is use Photoshop to create graphics to overlay on top of your video. For example, you can design a lower third like this one and export it as a PNG to retain transparency. Then in OBS, you can click on the plus icon and select Image. I'll call this lower third. And under Browse, find the lower third that you saved from Photoshop. Remember, it has to be a PNG to contain transparency. Press OK. And now you can see the lower third and you can place it anywhere you want. And when you go back into Zoom, you'll be able to see the lower third. This technique is amazing. It allows you to add any graphic, video, animation, pretty much anything you want on OBS, and then stream it over in your Zoom calls. And by the way, if you want to disable the graphic, simply click on the eye icon and you can see how the graphic is disabled in OBS and it is also disabled through the Zoom call. And if I want to enable the graphic again, I can do so. And just to remind you, you can do this with as many graphics as you want and you can overlay video on top of that as well.